Pozdrav svima, ja sam Miljana I ovo je Go Speak Serbian. Today we are talking about adverbs of frequency in Serbian language. Now your reaction might be, okay, but what exactly are adverbs of frequency? These are all the words that we use to describe how often we do something or how often things happen. Basically, today we are talking about Serbian counterparts for words like often, rarely, never, and so on. Spremni? Počinjemo.
As I already said, we use adverbs of frequency to say how often we do things or how often something happens. Koliko često se nešto dešava. Now, let's see 6 main adverbs of frequency in Serbian language. As you can see, they differ in the level of frequency. If something happens always, so it's 100%, we say uvek. If something happens usually, normally, but it's still not 100%, we would say obično. Next, if something happens often, in Serbian it's često. Right in the middle, so 50% of frequency, is something that happens sometimes. Ponekad. Then if it's rarely, seldom, hardly ever, we'd say retko. And finally, if it never happens, so 0%, in Serbian it's nikad or nikada. Don't forget that adverbs are indeclinable words, which means that we always use them in the same form. So here you don't have to think about the gender, number, or cases. Now let's go through all of them with some examples. Once again, Serbian word for always is uvek. Usually in Serbian language, there are no rules about the position of the adverb in a sentence. Naturally, they are always connected with a verb. Only this adverb, unlike others that you will see later, is actually mostly used in front of a verb. Now let's see some examples. Uvek jedem nešto slatko uz kafu. Uvek radim domaći 5 minuta pre časa. You can see in both sentences, adverb is positioned right in front of the verb. Obično, usually. This adverb could be followed by a verb or it could be used after it. Na posao obično idem biciklom. Second example. Obično poručujem hranu jer ne kuvam baš dobro. Često is also flexible when it comes to its position in a sentence. Moje komšije često prave žurke u stanu. Ili mislim često o tome kako da uštedim novac. Word sometimes in Serbian actually comes in two forms. You could say ponekad or you could also say nekad. Let's see the examples with it. Ponekad sam toliko umoran da zaspim ispred televizora. Budim se ponekad gladna usred noći. Retko also could be placed before or after a verb. Idem retko kod lekara, samo ako baš moram. Šteta što tako retko igramo društvene igre. And the last one is nikad. You need to be very careful with this one, and now you're going to see why. Nikad ne stižem na posao na vreme. Nikada ne treniram u teretani. As you can see, here we have double negative. So not only in Serbian language it exists, unlike in English, but actually it's obligatory. Whenever you have to use an adverb nikad, make sure that you also use negative form of a verb. Došlo je vreme da vežbamo zajedno šta smo naučili. Let's translate these sentences from English to Serbian. Take your time. Feel free to pause the video before you hear my Serbian translation. She always uses sunscreen. Ona uvek koristi kremu za sunčanje. Sometimes I sleep until 12 o'clock. Ponekad spavam do 12 sati. He never uses his phone while he's driving. On nikada ne koristi telefon dok vozi. Usually I walk my dog in the evening. Ja obično šetam psa uveče. She often reads before sleeping. Ona često čita pre spavanja. We rarely run, we're so lazy. Mi retko trčimo, jako smo lenji. I have never been to Africa. Ja nikada nisam bio ili bila u Africi. He always goes to work by bicycle. On uvek ide na posao biciklom. In this exercise, we are talking about this woman's daily routine. Follow these given phrases and create a sentence for each picture. You will have to add the right adverb of frequency based on what you see here in her calendar. So for the first picture, ustaje rano. As we can see, it's happening every day, so we need a word for always. Uvek ustaje rano. Slika 2. Nikada ne ide na posao kolima. Slika 3. Obično doručkuje na poslu. Slika 4. We can see it's happening 5 times a week, so we can say often. Često trenira. Slika 5. Ponekad šeta psa u parku. I slika 6. Retko ide u pozorište. To je sve. That's all. But before you leave, I have another task for you. This is a good way for you to practice what you just learned in this video. So try to answer this question. Koliko često ti, so how often do you, and then you have 5 different options. Spavaš do 12 sati, ideš kod lekara, treniraš, poručuješ hranu i trčiš. Write your answers in the comments below. Also, please like this video and subscribe to our page if you found this lesson useful. Vidimo se. Ćao!